Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Centennial Lecture Series featuring a centennial conversation on Anthropogenic Global Warming, Beyond the Hype, Doing the Right Thing for the Right Reason. Today also marks the 10th lecture in the year-long Centennial Lecture Series that features renowned international and local personalities in the academe, in the government, and in the industry. We would like to repeat that all lectures will be beamed live to all the following UP campuses: UP Diliman, UP Los Baños, UP Visayas in Cebu and Tacloban, UP Mindanao, UP Baguio, and Open University. And right now, it's good news that we have already contacted UP Iloilo, and we have all the 8 campuses connected. And it's also webcast, by the way, all around the world. All right, please rise for the Philippine National Anthem.
Bayang magiliw, pero sa silanganan, alam ng puso, sa titik mo'y buhay. Lupang hinirang, tuyat ka ng mag-ibig, sa manlulubi, di ka pasisigil, sa dagat at bundok, sa simoy at sa langit mong baba, ay nilatang tula at awit sa paglayang minamahal. Ang kisap ng watawat mo'y tagumpay na nagdiligid, ang bituin at araw niya kailan pa may magdidilim. Lupa ng araw ng maraming konsepta, ay hayangin sa dilim mo. Aming ligaya na pag may mga aking, ang namatay ng dahil sa'yo.
Today, we hold another important event to celebrate UP Centennial. I think most of you are aware that we have lined up a series of events to mark this important milestone in the life of UP. We are organizing celebration activities, fundraising activities, and other activities to promote or project UP to the outside world. But the centerpiece of UP's Centennial celebration is actually the UP Centennial Lecture Series. After all, UP is an academic institution, and because it is, a good part of commemorating its birthday is to get scholars, experts, and distinguished individuals to share with us their thoughts on UP or their views on burning issues of the day. 4 categories make up the lecture series. One set of lectures will be delivered by insiders. They will present to us their views on UP, its successes and achievements, its faults and shortcomings. From them, we will get the view from inside. Another set will be delivered by those who are not part of our community, but who we believe take an interest in our university. They will share with us their insights on our vision, our mission, as they are perceived by the larger community. From them, we will get the view from outside. The third set of lectures will be by experts both from UP and from other institutions who will talk about national and global issues such as global warming, poverty alleviation, indigenous peoples, state of Philippine education, status of women, peace and conflict resolution, etc. And finally, for the 4th category, we will feature distinguished individuals who, through their life work, have attained great distinction in their respective fields. As an institution tasked not just with producing new knowledge and disseminating existing knowledge, but also with the shaping of the minds of a future generation of leaders, we felt it was important for us to have this lecture series and provide our faculty and students with the opportunity to listen to what our scholars, experts, and invited guests have to say. Today, we have the honor of welcoming the scholars and experts, both from UP and other institutions, who will explore pressing issues confronting the nation and the world. To them, I express our sincerest thanks. We are grateful for your presence and your time. And to all those who are here, thank you for joining us.
Our discussant this afternoon, Dr. Perry S. Ong, is a professor in wildlife biology and director of the Institute of Biology. He obtained his PhD in behavioral ecology and evolutionary biology at the Monash University. He is actively involved in the protection and conservation of the environment, specifically Philippine biodiversity, and is a current president of the Wildlife Conservation Society of the Philippines and that of the Earth's Rights and People's Rights Incorporated. He is also a trustee and treasurer of the Philippines Tropical Forest Conservation Foundation and chairs the Philippine Federation for Environment Concern. In recognition of his accomplishments as a scientist and a conservationist, he was chosen as one of the 10 outstanding young scientists for behavioral ecology as well as evolutionary biology in 2000 by the National Academy of Science and Technology. The same year, he was also awarded as one of the 10 outstanding young men, POYM, in the field of environment conservation. In 2004, he received the Hugh Greenwood Environment Science Award, also from the National Academy of Science and Technology. May we request our discussant, Dr. Perry Ong, to go up the stage. Our first reactor is Dr. Alisa Paleo Alampay. Dr. Alampay is an associate professor at the National Institute of Geological Sciences at the College of Science, UP Diliman. She obtained her PhD in Earth Sciences at the Scripps Institution of Oceanography at the University of California in San Diego. She is a Balik Scientist Awardee of the Department of Science and Technology and one of the recipients of the Outstanding Women in Nation Services Award in 2007. Her current research interests are in micropaleontology and paleoceanography. May we request Dr. Alampay to join our discussant. Our second reactor is Dr. Felino P. Lansigan. Dr. Lansigan is professor in statistics at the UPLB Institute of Statistics, an affiliate professor at the School of Environmental Science and the College of Engineering and Agro-Industrial Technology. He obtained his PhD from the Colorado State University. Professor Lansigan has been recipient of various scientific and professional awards, including the Outstanding Young Scientist Award in 1987, the Outstanding Young Man of the Philippines in 1992, and the 2008 UPLB Outstanding Researcher. His main areas of interest include environmental statistics, hydrology, water resources, risk management, system simulation modeling. Professor Lansigan is currently working on simulating the effects of climate change on major crops in the Philippines. If you're wondering where Professor Lansigan is, he is actually in UPLB. His reaction to Dr. Ong's presentation will be beamed live to us here in Diliman, as well as in the other campuses via the wonders of the internet. Let us welcome Professor Lansigan. Dr. Perry Ong, can we have the paper presentation?
Chancellor Cao, Chancellor Alfonso, officials of the university, distinguished guests, fellow UP faculty, staff and students, colleagues from the environment movement and from the government service, friends, good afternoon. I'm deeply honored to be standing in front of you today to be part of the university's celebration of its centennial. I hope that this presentation will be good enough as materials for discussion, fit for our stature as a national university. The Earth is also known as the blue planet. It is the only place in the whole universe that harbors life. The search for extraterrestrial life has barely scratched the surface, but so far it has yielded nothing. Compared to Venus or Mars, we are not too hot or too cold, with just the right amount of atmospheric composition and conditions that allowed life to evolve, just like in the story of Goldilocks when she found the right one. Steven Weinberg, a quantum physicist, proposed the anthropic principle to explain why the world seemed so fine-tuned for humans to evolve a consciousness so as to observe it, creating an illusion of intelligent design. But this is another topic altogether that deserves its own forum for discussion. Before proceeding any further, I'd like to briefly discuss what causes climate to change. Although the basic causes of climate change are still not fully understood, many clues have been collected, particularly in the last 20 years. Among these are tectonic causes, atmospheric causes, and astronomic causes. Tectonic causes include landmass distribution and continental drift, which cause changes in circulation patterns of ocean currents and undersea ridge activity through seafloor spreading, causing variations in ocean displacement. Astronomic causes, or the Milankovitch cycle, which involves the Earth's wobbling as it spins on its axis, indicated by the letter P, the tilting of the Earth's axis that shifts from 21.5 to 24.5 degrees, indicated by the letter T, and when the orbit of the Earth shifts from elliptical to nearly circular, indicated by the letter E, with a periodicity of 23,000 years, 41,000 years, and 100,000 years, respectively. Atmospheric causes due to the greenhouse gases and solar reflectivity rounds up the rest of these causes. As you can see, greenhouse gases, which causes the greenhouse effect, is just one of many variables that all interact together in an eternal tug-of-war of global warming and global cooling, creating the conditions where we find ourselves in today. Human contribution to climate change is just one among many. Thus, how climate works is a complex process. It is a difficult process to study as it defies your usual scientific study. No experiments could be set up with the proper controls and test conditions that can isolate variables with enough replicates. In the late 1970s, there were warnings about an impending global cooling. And when one reviews the literature, what happened was that in the last 100 years, reports had been seesawing between getting cold or getting warm globally. And who is to blame them when we look at the temperature record? It seems that between the 1850s and 1970s, we were below average, meaning we were experiencing mild weather conditions. And it would appear that we are currently emerging from this cold spell. It is like coming out from an air-conditioned room after 100 years directly into a hot day. Neither am I the first Filipino scientist to raise doubts about Al Gore's doomsday scenario. My colleagues at the College of Science, UP Diliman, Dr. Carlo Arcilla and Dr. Fernando Siringan, had expressed that 2 years ago. Since it was contrary to the popular sentiment of the day, it was conveniently ignored. There is no doubt that climate is continuously changing at various scales, and species either adapt or go extinct.